So people tend to stress out when they're fixing to go on a trip if they're on a GLP-1 because we'd have to do a few things as far as storage and traveling. So people tend to tell me, oh, I'm just going to skip my GLP-1 while I'm on the trip. Now, this is not always the right move. So let me give you a few tips on what to do.
Semaglutide and tirzepatide are two of the most widely prescribed classes of medication in the world right now, and they both share a characteristic that makes travel require a little more thought. They're biologics, temperature-sensitive proteins that can lose their effectiveness if not handled correctly, and that need a plan before you pack your bag. The GLP-1 class has its own specific rules, some shared across all medications in the class, some unique to semaglutide or tirzepatide specifically. This guide gives you the complete picture with the detail that actually matters when you're standing at airport security or figuring out which cooling case to pack for a 2-week trip abroad. Let's get started. What are GLP-1 medications, and why does travel require planning? GLP-1 receptor agonists work by mimicking the glucagon-like peptide-1 hormone, stimulating insulin release, reducing appetite, and slowing gastric emptying. They're prescribed for type 2 diabetes management, chronic weight management, and increasingly for cardiovascular risk reduction. The medications in this class that most travelers are currently managing include semaglutide-based medications. Ozempic, originally created for type 2 diabetes. Wegovy was created for chronic weight management. Rybelsus was created for type 2 diabetes. Also, we have tirzepatide-based medications, which are Mounjaro, originally created for type 2 diabetes. Zepbound was created for chronic weight management, and compounded formulations. Compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide are widely prescribed through telehealth platforms. They have the same active ingredients, but different formulations and packaging. All injectable GLP-1 medications are biologics, large molecule proteins that are more sensitive to temperature, light, and physical degradation than small molecule oral medications. This sensitivity is why travel planning matters. A pen that's been frozen or overheated may look completely normal while delivering a fraction of its intended dose. The single most important rule for all GLP-1 travelers. Before the specifics, there is one rule that applies to every GLP-1 medication, every traveler, every trip, and that is keep your meds in the carry-on luggage only, never checked baggage. Cargo hold temperatures on commercial flights can drop well below freezing at altitude and rise dangerously warm during ground delays. Neither temperature extreme is compatible with GLP-1 medications. Freezing permanently destroys the protein structure of both semaglutide and tirzepatide. Extreme heat degrades them, often without any visible change to the pen's appearance. So, your medication stays with you in the cabin. This is non-negotiable. Semaglutide versus tirzepatide, the temperature rules that actually differ. This is the most practically important distinction between the two meds for travelers, and the one most generic GLP-1 travel guides gloss over. Semaglutide meds. When unopened, they need to be refrigerated at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius, until first use. However, when they are in use or removed from the fridge, Ozempic can stay up to 56 days at room temperature, below 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and Wegovy can stay up to 28 days at room temperature, below 86 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of you may ask, can you return semaglutide to the fridge after room temperature storage? Yes, you can, because semaglutide pens can be moved between refrigeration and room temperature within their approved windows, as long as total room temperature time doesn't exceed the limit. This gives semaglutide users meaningful flexibility. What about tirzepatide meds? When unopened, you need to refrigerate them at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit until first use. When they are in use or removed from the fridge, single-dose auto-injector pens can stay up to 21 days at room temperature, below 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. Quick pen can stay up to 30 days at room temperature, below 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. What about returning tirzepatide to the fridge after room temperature storage? Nope, that is not possible, unfortunately. This is a critical difference from semaglutide. Once a tirzepatide pen has been stored at room temperature, it cannot be returned to the refrigerator. The 21-day, or 30-day for quick pen, clock runs from the moment the pen first leaves refrigeration, not from first use. Which GLP-1 travel cooler do you need? The answer depends entirely on your medication and your trip length. However, here's the decision framework. Option 1, heat protection only. No refrigeration needed. In this scenario, your trip is shorter than your medication's room temperature window, and ambient temperatures might exceed 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The right cooler would be an evaporative cooling pouch or insulated medical case that protects your pen from heat without active refrigeration. The chillers from 4All family use evaporative technology. Just add water and you can protect medications from heat for over 45 hours without electricity or ice. The Rambler Pro is another great cooling case for GLP-1 medication, as it keeps your meds cool no matter what, using power outlets or its own battery. Option 2, active refrigeration required. In this case, your trip is longer than your medication's room temperature window, or you're carrying sealed backup pens that won't be started within that window. The right cooler is a medical-grade refrigerated travel case with biogel packs or a true mini fridge with USB power. These maintain true refrigeration temperatures for extended periods, essential for keeping backup semaglutide or tirzepatide pens viable on longer trips. The ones I use when I travel with refrigerated insulin pens are the Explorer and the Pioneer Pro. Also, please remember to follow the manual instructions carefully when using the travel cooler, so you understand for how long the specific unit will work and how to properly use it. Keep pens, vials, or syringes out of direct sunlight. Both semaglutide and tirzepatide are sensitive to UV degradation. Never leave your injections in a parked car. Check the visual appearance of your medication before every injection. Both tirzepatide and semaglutide should be clear and colorless. Any cloudiness, particles, or discoloration means you have to throw them away because they have gone bad. Flying with GLP-1, medications, TSA, and airport security. TSA allows all medically necessary injectable medications in carry-on luggage, exempt from the standard 3.4-ounce liquid limit. This applies equally to semaglutide and tirzepatide in all their brand forms, as well as to compounded formulations. At the checkpoint, declare your medication proactively. Something simple. I have a prescription injectable medication and a medical cooling case. They're medically necessary. Most interactions end there. TSA officers may swab your medication or case for explosive residue as a common routine. However, they should not open sealed medication containers. A lot of people ask if GLP-1 pens can go through X-ray machines, and the answer is yes! Unlike insulin pumps and CGMs, GLP-1 injection pens are not electronic devices and are not affected by airport X-ray scanners. Place your medication bag on the conveyor belt without concern. Cooling cases and gel packs at security. Both are permitted. Declare them proactively and be prepared for them to be removed from your bag for separate inspection. Partially melted gel packs are fine. Do you need a doctor's letter? Not for domestic U.S. flights, because TSA does not legally require documentation. But original packaging with pharmacy labels significantly speeds up any interaction, and a doctor's letter is strongly recommended for international travel. Needles and sharps. Unused needles in original packaging are permitted. Used needles must be in a travel sharps container. This applies to all injectable GLP-1 medications. Managing your GLP one-dose schedule when traveling. All injectable GLP-1 medications we are covering today are weekly injectables. This makes time zone management significantly simpler than with daily medications, but it still deserves attention before any long-haul trip. The general rule for all GLP-1s, a dose taken around 48 hours before your usual scheduled day, is acceptable for most people. This gives you real flexibility for travel days and time zone adjustment without clinically significant disruption to your treatment. For most trips, inject on the same calendar day of the week at your destination. Set a phone alarm in the destination time before you board. For long-distance travel, if crossing many time zones, pick a fixed day of the week at your destination and maintain it throughout your stay. Return to your home schedule when you get back. If you miss a dose during travel, take it as soon as you remember, as long as your next scheduled dose is at least 48 hours away. If it's closer than that, skip the missed dose and resume your regular schedule. Never double dose. One specific consideration for tirzepatide users, because the once at room temperature can't return to fridge rule, means the 21-day clock runs from first removal from refrigeration. Consider timing your pen removal carefully around your trip. Removing a fresh pen from the fridge on the first day of your trip rather than before departure maximizes the room temperature window during your travels. GLP-1. Side effects and travel, what nobody tells you. This section is almost entirely absent from competing guides, yet it's genuinely important for anyone in the early months of treatment or during dose escalation. Both semaglutide and tirzepatide can cause gastrointestinal side effects: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach discomfort. These tend to be most significant in the early weeks and during dose escalation, and they interact badly with several common travel situations. Motion and nausea. Post-injection nausea, combined with motion sickness from flights, car journeys, or boat trips, can be significantly worse than either alone. Choose aisle seats. Sit near the front of vehicles and keep anti-nausea medication accessible. Timing your injection around travel days. When possible, avoid injecting on the day of a long-haul flight. Injecting the day before gives the most acute post-injection side effects time to settle before you board. Rich travel food. Travel eating is often less controlled than home eating, richer, more indulgent, and less predictable. Both semaglutide and tirzepatide reduce appetite and slow gastric emptying, which makes overeating at a celebratory dinner or a buffet more likely to cause discomfort. This isn't a reason to avoid local food, but it's worth being mindful, particularly in the days immediately after an injection. Dehydration. Nausea suppresses thirst, and air travel is inherently dehydrating. The combination is a real dehydration risk, particularly for tirzepatide users, where dehydration from GI side effects has been associated with kidney complications. Drink water consistently on travel days, even when you don't feel like it. Discuss with your prescriber before any significant trip, particularly if you're still in dose escalation. They may be able to advise on timing or provide anti-nausea medication for demanding travel days. International travel with GLP-1 medications. Both semaglutide and tirzepatide are approved and available in many countries, though availability, brand names, and formulations vary internationally. Documentation to carry: doctor's letter with diagnosis, medication name, brand and generic, dosage, and medical necessity statement. Prescription copy with pharmacy label. Generic names alongside brand names. Semaglutide and tirzepatide are the internationally recognized active ingredients. Travel insurance documentation with 24/7 emergency contact. At customs, declare medications if asked. Most countries allow personal use quantities of prescription medications. Proactive declaration with documentation is faster than being stopped for undeclared items. If you need to source your medication abroad in an emergency, you need to know that semaglutide is available as Ozempic in most markets, and Wegovy is available in a growing number of countries. Tirzepatide is available as Mounjaro in many markets. Zepbound is currently more limited internationally. Contact your manufacturer's international patient support, Novo Nordisk for semaglutide and Eli Lilly for tirzepatide. Call your travel insurer. They may be able to help you source your medication quickly. Any hospital can provide emergency medical support. A note on compounded GLP-1 medications. Compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide from U.S. compounding pharmacies present additional documentation challenges internationally. Carry a comprehensive letter from your prescriber that explains the active ingredient, dosage, and medical necessity, as international customs officers may not recognize compounded formulations. The pre-travel checklist for all GLP-1 medications. Before we wrap this full guide, here is a full checklist you need to go through before you embark on your trip. Make sure to have enough pens for the full trip, plus at least one spare. Make sure to note down the opening or removal date from the fridge for a specific pen. Find the right cooling solution for your medication based on your trip length. Have the original packaging and pharmacy label with you. Have a doctor's letter for international travel. Don't forget your prescription copy with the generic name, semaglutide or tirzepatide, and dosage. Get a sharps container for used needles. Have travel insurance covering medication loss and emergencies abroad. Set phone alarms for injection day in the destination time zone. Make sure dose timing is discussed with the prescriber if crossing 5+ time zones. Keep anti-nausea medication if prone to GI side effects during travel. And there you have it, friends. That was a complete guide on traveling with your GLP-1 medication. We hope you found this video useful. Before you go, we would love to read your comments on this video, so please leave your opinion on this topic. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Stay cool and limitless.